Hello everybody, this is Bo Short and I'd like to welcome you to Leading with Impact. Okay, first I want to say this to you. I know that in South Africa and Namibia and throughout the African continent that you've got a blitz getting ready to start, and I don't want you all to miss it. It is, I know there's going to be a call kicking off tomorrow and I want you to be there. This is, get everybody on your team there. This is going to be a 6-day run busting through the tape. So make sure you're there. And I know that Ronnie and I will be on the call with Kirsten and Sam tomorrow. And I got to tell you, we've had some really fun conversations about South Africa recently in the last couple days, and just some possibilities. So just great stuff's happening there, and some things with us. So let me say this to you. Leading with impact. I want to share something with you that I talk about often. And Ronnie and I, as we were playing catch with a baseball yesterday, imagine that, 57 years old, I've got a glove, she's got a glove, and we're playing catch in the front yard. And we're going back and forth talking about leading with impacts, what we should talk about, what we should share with people. And as we were having a conversation, it went into an area where I've got over a quarter of a century in this industry, which is really odd because I don't feel like I've got a quarter of a century in this industry. But sometimes I say things assuming you understand what I'm talking about. Sometimes, when you've done something so long and you're working with people oftentimes that are so new, you say things oftentimes assuming they know what you're talking about. And one of the comments I make a lot is it's harder to go from zero to sapphire than it is sapphire to diamond. And as we were talking about it, we were just kind of going back and forth with ideas, and we got the idea that maybe this is something I should add clarity to. Maybe this is something I should talk to you about, because this is about the pace you set, for your business. But if you're going to set a pace, it's like in cross country, you're going to run a 5K, 3.1 miles. Now, Ronnie and I run that every day. We run about a 5K almost every single day. But in a cross-country tournament, in a meet, you're going to run this race. And in order to compete, you're going to have to set a pace. Now, it's going to be your pace, but you want to be competitive, so you've got to set some minimal expectation of a pace. That's why we talk about 15 plans a month. But you also understand there are going to be people that just flat out get out ahead of you. As you start a business like this, you're going to find people that get so far out ahead of you, you're going to think, I can never do that. But what you have to understand is, A, that's their pace, and B, they're still going to rest. They're still going to slow down at times. They're going to still face obstacles. Just because they got started faster doesn't mean they finished first. And if it does, it's okay too, because it's their pace. But when I talk about going from zero to sapphire is harder than going sapphire to diamond, let me explain this to you. It will take longer to go from sapphire to diamond, probably. That journey is a longer journey. It's just an easier journey. And it's an easier journey because you've done all the hard stuff already. You've already faced most of your demons. You've already faced most of your obstacles. To go from zero to sapphire, you've already encountered leadership problems along the way. You've already encountered people that get started and quit. And I got to tell you, it's easier to quit in the beginning when people get started and quit in your business. Because it's easier to throw in the towel and say, well, if they're not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. It's easier to find excuses like that. Excuses are in large numbers in the beginning of your business. You start to realize once you go sapphire, the excuses start to disappear. Now you're just looking in the mirror thinking, okay, pal, let's get this done. It may take me longer, but let's get this done. In order to go from zero to sapphire, you start with nothing. You start with no credibility. You start with no experience. You start with nobody in your group. It's like, now I've got all this posture and I don't need it because I got a team. I don't need the posture. In the beginning, when you need the posture and the confidence, you don't have it. So if you go from zero to sapphire, you're building confidence. Go from zero to sapphire, you're building posture. Going zero to sapphire, you're putting more people in than leave. Going from zero to sapphire, you're finding people like you. And when I say more people in than leave, it's because the world is not populated with every neighborhood and every household being filled with someone like you. That's what makes you special. Now, it could be, but people make their choices in life. They choose not to be like you. They choose not to demand more of themselves. like you. They choose not to raise their expectations and their hopes like you. That's a choice people make. They choose to get up in the morning, get a cup of coffee, drive to work, be frustrated, complain, drive home, have a nice life. I'm not criticizing the life. But it's a life oftentimes, not all the time, oftentimes it lacks significance that people feel in here. Not that they're not good parents, not that they're not good friends, not that they're good teammates and family members in life. I'm talking about that stuff that's in here that compels people to move forward. Well, going 0 to Sapphire is finding all that stuff in you. It's demanding yourself to be the best you. It's challenging yourself to do more. That's why it's harder to go from 0 to Sapphire. Because if you quit, the only person that's going to know in the beginning is your upline. And you. But the problem with people is oftentimes they hide behind themselves and they think, well, it's okay. It's no big deal. I tried it. That's not okay. And life is more than a try. Life is a do. Because there's no do-over. This is about you. It is harder to go from 0 to Sapphire. What does that mean? Go Sapphire. It gets easier. I mean, that's what it means. Go Sapphire. Oh, but it's going to be hard. Okay, that's it. Think about life. You start out working. You've got 30 to 40 years ahead of you. And guess what? It gets harder. Only 30 more years to go. Only 20 more years to go. Oh, wow. Only 15 more years to go. I'm halfway there. It gets harder. In life, it's harder, and you're good at it. Here, it gets easier, and you're good at it. Here, it gets easier, and you have confidence. So as you run the pace of your race, and you go Sapphire, here's what happens. You pick up steam. You pick up momentum. Because you have all the confidence in the world. I wish I could give you the posture and confidence I have. You will have to earn that posture and confidence on your own. But your job is to reach back and tell people it gets easier. It gets easier. You're going to do this. You must do this. It's who you are. It's how you were made. And then you share that back with other people. You do that, and you are leading with impact. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.